Hello. Check everybody if you're tuned in. Welcome. Sorting a few things out there after that insane TDM tournament we just had. Really getting exciting as the strongest teams start moving forward through the ranks. We got another qualifier next weekend, then there'll be I think it's quarter semis, then finals. So after next week, there's another 3 weeks, so there's four more weeks to go of the Frag Fest. Right now, we're heading into Penetrate Clan Wars. This is the test run of the league format that will be starting from scratch when it comes to the new RP season. We will be running a weekly scrim with 3 FPP games where all your points accrued head towards your league standings. So if you can play every single Sunday, it is definitely worth getting on board because there is a £100 jackpot, same as the TDM tournament to be honest, but you can't sign up for that anymore. There is still time to sign up for Penetrate Clan Wars League format. And I'm going to I've posted it a couple of times in the chat already, you can scroll up, but I'm going to keep posting it. Get me a chatbot to post this every 5 minutes would be nice, or no, not 5, it's too often, but yeah. You need to get in that Discord if you want to come join the events that Penetrate organise. Everything's streamed by myself, sometimes with Highland Wolf alongside, who will be turning up for tonight. I hope. It's not inside the lobby just yet, and it is 8 o'clock. There he is. Beautiful stuff. Welcome everybody. We've got Luca, Atlas, Vape, HUD, 1-in-1, Medusa, and 4 guests. Just give Highland Wolf a call. Ring in Scotland right now. Not heaps and heaps of teams tonight, but enough. Provide some entertainment. Of course, people like SAS on top right now. See if I can hunt down some results for you. Give me a second. Get these results from the last week for you. Clan Wars League standings. There we are in the lobby. Get these results. Okay. A little tap on a keyboard there, which means that Highland Wolf is with us. Is that right?
I am with you. Hello.
How's it going, dude?
Good. I'm doing real good, man, tonight. It's kind of wet outside here right now in Scotland, pouring down a bit, but I'm doing good.
A little bit grey down here, but it's not too wet. Have a load up of these results. So you're just joining us now. You've missed the first few weeks. The current standings are first place SAS with 187 points. Second place Animals Lions, AMZ Lions with 133. Third place GOG Tartarus with 124. Fourth place Vapex Voodoo 101. Fifth place Incognito Blue 98. So SAS 54 points ahead of Animals Lions and 63 points ahead of Gods of Greece Tartarus.
Just getting these results and keep myself updated with them.
I'll be dropping the iPad from the streaming very soon. It's only on 10%. One of the issues about doing very, very long streams, if the iPad's not 100% at the start of it, it doesn't always make it through to the end. And even if it is 100%, sometimes it still doesn't quite make it.
I mean, I tell you what looks pretty good though right now is this plain path Bigfoot going straight across the middle. Had a bunch of really nice plain paths in recent games here on Miramar, going straight through San Martin. Can even go up to the top, so water treatment to El Azahar, even Picado down on the south is available, as well as El Pozo, which is a area of the map we've not been able to see for quite a bit.
Yeah, the past few games we've had together on Miramar, the flight path was much more easterly, and it's nice to see a jump into El Pozo. It might even be two Incognito teams and Z Paradox there. And level 1 also dropping with his... Is that the rest of the Incognito team? It is, yeah. Takita, Viveshaz, and we have Guard as well. Kia's just going to jump on the back of Guard's motorbike there, and they're going to keep moving. Looks like they're going to head further south than the flight path allowed them to. Cruz del Val and El Azahar already getting some pretty hot drops in there as well on this map. So we're going to jump up and see Team 11. Looks like they've got a highly deepful member trying out possibly. Chickens, that might be the... XXX is probably quite a common tag, so I can't guarantee that that is a highly deepful player, but it could be. Already sending the nades out.
Yeah, here we go. Fallen Angels versus the side of Quantums. Right now in this first fight of the game of the night here, we'll have to see who takes the victory. We see Wind here in the compound, searching around for Smiler. Actually puts a couple shots in, can't find any of them to land. Does get hit a couple times himself.
I can absolutely assure you as well, AMZ Lions are juicing up their lips, they're licking their lips, ready to get this loot together and rush over to the third party this situation. They're in no rush. I know how AMZ roll. They're keeping an eye on this kill feed right now. And the faster this kill feed goes, the faster they will progress. See, look, Rebels moving now, there's a kill. This is how AMZ work. They have the very, very good tactical timing here. Rebels seen that kill feed popping and is making the move towards them to at least scout out while the rest of them loot up.
Dom already down, so does Win now fall to Chicken's grenade. And that will be another one go down. And here we go. The side of Fallen Angels really putting up the work right now against the team of Quantum, who are now out of the game.
That was an extremely quick match between those two teams. And of course, it doesn't provide much advantage to the third party now, because they just dominated so well and they still have all four standing. There isn't a huge advantage to this third party, and it is a typical 4v4. Bearing in mind,
on the side though of AMZ, we see actually I can't pronounce the symbols there.
Kira,
but
Kira. You know,
Kira?
Have you ever seen Death Note?
No, I've not.
Okay, so the last two symbols say Kira, and the first three symbols say Light Yagami, and
I'll stick to Kira.
It's an anime character, K-I-R-A, Kira.
Yeah, okay, I'll stick to Kira here, but Kira making moves round the right side there on Smiler. face to face down this road here. And Animals Lions were looking for a way down to try take down the side of Fallen Angels, but Fallen Angels have retreated back. They're going to not take this fight. Understand that they have just taken one team down. They're not going to risk a second straight away after that. Looking around the rest of the map, though, however, we do have the border zone here. Looking like it's going to be a southerly west border right now, favoring these southern teams, like the side of Team Incognito as well as the side of Incognito Blue.
Yeah, so that could be interesting down in Val Del Mar and Minas. We might see around that bridge area or something an Incognito fight. And Gods of Greece also still opting to drop in Los Leones, but with no friends to play with them today. They're just going to rush around those mountains, ignoring the swamps of pistols and shotguns that exist in Los Leones, looking for the good weapons. And look at that. They've fired a flare, and they're going to get inside that flare an MK and an M2. Ridiculous stuff for them already. No one around to contest this. Looking at the map, I sincerely doubt anyone's going to push that right now, and Gods of Greece are going to get that level 3 armor, get that extremely high round rep weapon, the M249, and of course alongside the, was it MK? Yeah, really, really good close range. Chaos takes the M249. Wasn't sure if they were even going to take that out the box or not. They might have left it.
We still see this engagement here coming out and towards the north, and now as a Har Bigfoot, we actually see the side of Animals Lions. They have rotated round to the western side here of the compound. Still 2 members of the team of Fallen Angels to the east of that compound as well. We have to keep an eye out, though, for the side of actually RPG Python, who could be running towards actually the side of Animals Lions here in Al-Azhar.
They could get closer, so future angels. Too many teams to keep track of, fixing up Fallen Angels and Future Nature. Fallen Angels, they definitely made that tactical retreat early on very wisely, and they just needed to boost up their loot a bit, maybe get some better armor and guns. And are they going to push back, or are they going to just move on after getting an early squad wipe and consider that a safe 4 points? It looks like that might be the case, but we do see Diablo pulling back at no, now turning around again and leaving. Yeah. Looks like Fallen Angels are either spending some time getting their loot together even more than we thought, or they are on their way out now to zone.
Yeah, looking around the rest of this map here, teams still split fairly well apart. In talking about the side of Gods of Greece here, they have this excellent early game. Not even 6 minutes in when they got that crate drop there, Bigfoot. They now have the weapons, they have the armor they need to continue for the rest of this game. They're going to finish, I imagine, stacking up here around Los Leones, perhaps decide to stay in the compound, wait for teams to come closer as they are on the edge of the zone, or they may just choose to go closer towards the center, maybe towards Chumacero here, and set up shop in the center of that zone in a really comfortable position for his team.
Yeah, it looked like Diablo there was making a rotation round on the road and then come straight back, and still don't know exactly what they're up to. Have to find out. See if they are just forming up with vehicles and ready to go, and they're going to take the fight, but make sure they're ready to leave. Doesn't look like they're in any rush to get out, although I thought they were initially, but then they just came straight back.
Yeah, we do have to keep an eye out on these other teams here, still on the edge. We actually have the side of Penn, the host team here for these clan wars, on the top western side there. They're going to need to move in soon, as that border is pretty far away from them. They're going to have to travel quite a bit. Hopefully, they do have some vehicles on hand. The rest of these teams now choosing to hit the edge of this zone, which is really common. We like to see this. These teams wait to see how the zone will shift, as we're now waiting for that blue zone there to close in around these teams.
Diablo and Chickens are Fallen Angels team taking that off-road track down to the Junkyard Road, and yeah, just check on the northwest penetrate squad. See if they've managed to be lucky enough to have the spawn points inside ruins deal them some luck. I can hear a vehicle, and it's a buggy, so Carbon's going to be able to move out right now. Not sure about anyone else. It was Carbon and Menace, who I got that chicken with when I returned back to actually playing the game the other day there, Highland Wolf, and the game before I jumped off the cliff and died.
Sounds like they were carrying you, man.
No, well, I was solo when they saw the instant death when I jumped off that cliff. I was solo because they were already gone.
Oh, wow.
But in the first game, we worked really well together. But yeah, it was Carbon and Menace, who might be on the other squad.
I know, I heard you got that chicken dinner there.
Menace is, yeah. And you know what the best thing was? When I looked at the scoreboards, each game was scored separately. So instead of it being 2 games meaning the victory, it was just 1-by-1 scoring. So we got the full chicken. We got the full win on 1 game, and that counted as a win. And worth noting that Riot Squad actually took 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place with their 3 different trios in the 2nd game.
Yeah, Riot Squad here tonight, and Riot Squad Noobs there. That team number 4 on a map right now.
I think they pulled out. Are they here?
Have they pulled out?
Yeah.
Oh no, they have pulled out. Rip.
It's a shame.
That's such a shame.
It is because they normally play the FP. They normally play the TPP and stuff, but yeah, they're a little bit 1 person down, I think, today. So they didn't sign up. But you're welcome to come play Clan Wars with 3 players if you want.
I mean, we saw the side of Quantums take 3 players. Not that they lasted long, unfortunately, against the side of Fallen Angels. Perhaps unfortunate spawn point beside their current leaders of Animals Lions there, as well as the side of Fallen Angels. But now we see these teams move in closer towards the edge of the zone. We might see teams compress here together. The red zone just hit on the center of the zone in Chumacera. Still Pen, AMZ, and the side of Elf to move down into zone.
Penetrates moving in on Lost the Owners, but such a big spot they haven't met Gods of Greece just yet. Gods of Greece do have a vehicle ready. Maybe just 1 for now. The flight does come overhead. Would it be a 2nd drop in Los Leones?
We have both Pen Gunners and Pen Game Over in the map right now tonight. Also to the east of them is SAS. We're going to have to be keeping an eye on this team. If they do decide to move in towards the edge of the zone, they're going to find themselves conflicting with that squad. Rest of these teams right now just setting up. Is all about positions right now. Bigfoot setting up in these compounds on the edge of the zone, even risking if you do decide to go in the center, like we have seen the squad of Vapex Voodoo do already.
And of course, SAS, the ones to watch out for. They are so far ahead in the scoreboards. They need taken out early if they're going to be stopped as this league progresses. And this is the exciting thing about running it in league format, is you can watch who's ahead and you can try and hunt them down and take them off the map if you think you're hard enough. But it actually gets to the point where it's not just about winning the game, but it's about stopping other people get those points as they accrue over the period and the weeks go by.
Yeah, it's going to be so pivotal for these teams to take out the side of SAS, but SAS playing a cautious game right now. We actually see the side of Monand they're scouting out the south of this road here, going to likely perhaps be that solo person to check ahead, scout out the location on the edge of this zone while the rest of his team follow up. We actually see crossing the bridge as well, the side of Incognito Blue, now moving closer, as well as the side of Team Incognito. Also moving towards Chumacera there, and they could find themselves in conflict beside the squad of Vapex Voodoo if they do decide to engage in this compound. These squads right now moving closer. Still the side of Pen Game Over and Elf to make it into zone. They're going to find it difficult to now make it through this wall of teams in the north side here, Bigfoot.
Yeah, so the Northwest Penetrate team are now coming in late to a second zone behind the first zone. So they're going to have a lot of healing to do by the time they get here. But they can drive this whole way probably and just get 1 first aid kit at the end, because it is still only the early days of the damage. Oh. We just lost Devious. Are they disconnected or? No meds? Gonna have to get feedback on that one eventually, like. That might have been a disconnection. Devious just standing there in the zone. I think it's possible. As the rest of this team move into zone. I'll try and get an update.
Maybe why they decided to hold back there, Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's quite likely, especially with only 1 truck. We will check in the. I'll check in the Discord what happened to Devious there.
Yeah, round these teams now, moving closer. Another drop for the side of Gods of Greece there. They're going to find themselves really stacked, but so are the side of actually Pen Gunners there. They're going to make a move perhaps towards this drop zone.
That's a second flare for them. So that is 3 weapons they have if they don't take this DBS. I would be taking it. I love the thing. But Perseus, go on, Perseus. No, no one take the DBS. Don't take the DBS. No. Nah, they're leaving it in the box, I think. But definitely more of an Erangel map weapon, or Sandhawk. Definitely not really a Miramar weapon, but not really a Miramar weapon by the book. But I'd still love to have it out in this map. It's a really good gun. Yeah. The zones do get small. If you can take that to the small zones in Miramar, you're going to be chuckling.
Yeah, that close range, that's what we want. But also the side of Team Incognito here on the high ground. They're now scouting out Chumacera there. Lucifer versus actually the side of the team of their Vapex Voodoo. Scouting it out, couple shots going in, next level, taking a couple hits in the car by Synchro.
Yeah, Gods of Greece driving straight past Penetrate's compound.
They versus the side of Team Incognito right now. Lucifer down low underneath the hilltop there as he fire upon him. Anna it low.
Argus was pretty low driving past there, but they do make it away.
These teams now on a standstill, fighting for this position on the hilltop.
Gods of Greece pulling away from one fight, leading straight towards another compound as well. Pushing towards Fallen Angels even. Is it going to be the fact that Gods of Greece just can't find a compound everywhere they go? They're being shot at right now. Coming hot off an astounding victory in the TDM tournament we just held. Gods of Greece swamping the competition. Medusa with the M2, 4 and 2X smashing through the TDM lobby like I would not have expected.
This drop right now, really hot right now, an MK14, 8x scope, level 3 helmet, level 3 vest, and a ghillie suit, and a level 3 backpack in this drop. Really stacked.
Yeah, Gods of Greece have had access to 4 crate weapons. They've had access to 5, but they've taken 4 crate weapons altogether. There's no much point running that iPad, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Side of these teams now moving closer towards the center of this map in the zone right now. Still this standoff between Vape and the side of Team Incognito. Laser moving around the compound as well as Synchro here, healing back up, trying to fight down. Anaret is down, unfortunately. They've lost one on the side of Incognito. They now moving closer. Matthew trying to find a couple shots and managed to take down Synchro. Now they move down closer.
Synchro trying to retreat there. Will be finished off. Can't retreat very far when you're crawling around knocked, unfortunately, and looks like Vape might be on top of this situation.
Lucifer, Alexa together. Alexa trying to keep an eye out, but getting a couple shots in from Matthew. Has to be careful of the positioning here. Lucifer also down on the edge, trying to find an angle. Has to keep Alexa alive if they want to try be able to fight future fights in this game if need be. Going down solo right now with 13 teams still alive is not going to be the answer you want. The smoke keeping Alexa alive, but Matthew has them pinned. Alexa goes down with a knock up, and Lucifer the only one alive.
Lucifer do about this. Retreat, I expect, so I hope, and no.
I see him, Money, but he gets sniped from the top by the side of Houdini.
Oh my god, why hasn't anyone corrected me? Hood 1-in-1 I've been saying. What the hell? AMZ losing a player as well. Let's jump up to that fight. That's Rebel. That's one of their strong fraggers taken out right now. From a distance, it looks like as well, by level 1 even.
Level 1 choosing to take this fight. Really comfortable. Matters with a snipe onto Bunny, though. They can't quite find them. Now here comes, as you decide, of Pen game over here as well. Maybe choosing to circuit round this fight on Picardo, going down towards his border as they choose to maybe just get inside the zone to safety.
We just got an update from Devious there. He logged in with the comms glitch, so the glitch where you can't hear anyone speak and they can't hear you. And he tried to restart, but then couldn't get back in the game, and yes, was left disconnected there in the northwest and went down to zone. Unfortunately, nightmare. Devious. Absolute nightmare. AMZ now retreating, making that push into zone and avoiding this fight with level 1 so it doesn't go too far into the blue. And it's looking like Fallen Angels and Incognito really holding down that southeast side, so it's going to be tricky for Gods of Greece or RPG. Is that RPG? To come in there. Yeah, it is RPG. I can only see one player, Balor, on the top of the others. It's going to be half
a massive red zone here, though.
Yeah, Carbon and the Co-op might not be driving through that. They might just go straight south. And yet, RPG driving quite slowly towards what looks like a gate-kept edge of zone. Hopefully they go a little bit further west and avoid Incognito there. Maybe they have the information, I don't know. I think Python does have something suspect in his head about that. Yeah, about that compound, I think so. They can see... Ooh, going for a M24 driving shot is a bold move, but they will just miss the head there. They do rotate further around into zone, so a nice collection of teams have made it here. Should get pretty spicy as it starts to close in. Looking at Gods of Greece, though, they're really trying to like rotate around any gatekeeping that might be going on, but this entire south side is gate kept. They have to just fight their way through. There is no choice here.
Yeah, Gods of Greece here, they're gonna struggle against these squads. About 4-5 teams still the side of Apex Voodoo, comfortable in Tremosera. They've obviously taken out the side of Team Incognito, sorry. Now waiting for this next team to try take them on in this central compound. The only main compound in the zone still up. Now we actually see the side of Elfo falling down.
That would be Bailey and Waz going straight down to Ant-Man as they pull up on the Z Paradox compound. It looks like Sam is down too, and Quan, the only one standing, has to deal with the entire squad if they're going to survive. Nades are being thrown everywhere. There's smokes out. Nish goes down, but there's only one little drop of health on Quan, and he will be flanked by Catnip. Z Paradox out on top of that as the elves did not push into that compound fast or aggressively enough, and they will be taken out by Z Paradox here in 12th place.
Here comes a grouping of teams, so Pen, also the side of RPG and Gods of Greece all along the edge of this zone, now moving together. We see the side of Pen putting down shots against the team of RPG. Also, Gods of Greece might just sandwich them here.
Yeah, Gods of Greece starting to rip into Python there with the M249. Perseus gets Balor with the MK. Argus gets Storm with the M4. Perseus finishes Balor off with the MK. Perseus headshots Python with the MK. Wow.
They just missed position there, unfortunately, from the side of RPG, choosing to try stay on the edge of the zone instead of moving straight in. They unfortunately get camped down by two different sides teams, but we also see the side of SAS making moves. They actually eliminate one from the side of Pen. Cons is down, Murdoch very low. Also Vish taking a couple bullets in from the side of Gods of Greece.
Chaos there, taken out by the last member standing by RPG, and will go down, and some smoke will come up, trying to get that rev on Chaos, who was running around with the M249 and a 6X, but didn't quite see Decoy prone in the grass, the short grass it is, on that little ridge. Prone, Decoy here stood up and smashed them down.
SDS, so on to the side of Apex Voodoo, and here they come down, another one. They continue to wipe this team down and just obliterate the side of Apex Voodoo there as they run them down. Two were down already, unfortunately knocked up from range. There was nothing that Apex Voodoo could do to survive that engagement from the full squad in the open.
And now we do have Penetrate stuck between the two leaderboards of the tournament right now. SAS starting to make that move into zone, but going to leave Psycho behind a little bit longer. Murdoch has been taken down by Gods of Greece, who are now firing into SAS, driving into zone. Bish and Menace are going to do their best to make it into zone, avoiding Psycho just up the hill there. And the vehicle almost doesn't make it, and Psycho is so close to sending some shots down. There is a couple bullets landed, but Menace and Vish do get out. Menace jumps out the car and takes some damage. They are going to avoid the burning car, but little do they know, no one has an angle on them anymore, and they could have stayed in it had they just hugged this wall. But to be sure, they got out that burning vehicle before it exploded. Menace putting the medkit in right now before moving further into zone. Bish running ahead. SAS with the full squad made it. Gods of Greece still getting kills there as Takita goes down to a headshot from the Car 98, but the play zone will get Argos and Chaos down.
Yeah, we see this four-way fight about to come out. Penn already lost Omen and Carbon. Tarzan, the only survivor here for his squad. Tarzan very low right now. In the open, has to use the smokes, but Mattis here on the other side might just shoot Tarzan down. Has to get down prone underneath that rock. Smoke down as well, trying to keep himself alive. One more shot will take this entire team down out of the game. Mattis making moves around Tarzan, knows exactly where they are, and down goes Tarzan, and with that down goes the rest of the side of Penn. Another team down, 8 teams left in this game. We also now could see this fight break out between the side of level 1 and the side of AMZ. Mattis still alive, the only member alive from the side of AMZ.
Dead Paradox still sitting with a full squad, alongside also Fallen Angels with a full squad. Some really dangerous squads coming in from the north, and Atlas in the south with just a solo trying to, gonna have to try and push through or past SAS, or maybe just keep it discreet until the time is right. But there is also a full SAS team just north of Atlas, as Atlas makes it barely into zone there. Incognito on that high ground as well. Danny too, this is a bit going to be contention for this high ground, because as this zone closes in around this area, it's going to be pretty good to have it already. Don't often see people climbing up on these on these big pipes and water, whatever they are. But there are some extremely high positions you can get up to running up these pipes. And if people don't see you up there, you can get a nice surprise shot, especially as the zone closes in around it. Some of this high ground pipe stuff is very center zone right now, and could be an OP position with the little players running down beneath you like ants.
XPX now falling under a couple shots of fire from the last surviving team for Penn. Penn Gunners here making moves towards this final squad. Menace keeping himself alive as best he can, moving around, rotating around, trying to find an angle here. Also decided Incognito now falling down, unfortunately, from the side of Lobbyman, and here comes level 1. They're trying to find some damage, but have lost a couple. Bunny still up, though. Tikita versus Bunny and the rest of level 1. Hamalanea, though, takes him down.
So, level 1 coming out of that conflict alive after the first player drove in. Got obliterated, but that actually worked as quite a good distraction for the rest of the team to come in. Vish is in zone and will go out. Menace still getting kills though. Menace smashing into Zed Paradox there. 2 kills so far for Menace. And Ant-Man will finish off Menace there with the spray. And that will be Penetrate out in 6th place. We have level 1 just trying to heal up and deal with the aftermath of that conflict there. They will be pushing a little bit further in, but not too far for them to go and not too far for SAS to go. Looking like Fallen Angels have to come up the hill right now though, and that can be an awkward rotation.
Matas really struggling against the side of Fallen Angels here, putting the fire on top of him. Diablo has the angle on top of Matas, keeping an eye, making sure that they don't move forward from their small compound, trying to choke Matas out in the blue zone. Ant-Man also rotating round, the last survivor for their team.
So Ant-Man was scoping out what Fallen Angels were up to there, but didn't want to get into the conflict, and has just decided to make position overall. And now Ant-Man's being shot down by SAS there, moving in. Definitely going to be a tricky push now with SAS keeping that pin. SAS will be watching all angles. They're a highly tactical squad, but Ant-Man getting smashed from 2 different angles and will finally be knocked down by Danny there. A little bit of damage done by Fallen Angels first, and finished off by Danny after Fallen Angels initiated that spray.
Unfortunately, Mattis goes down. Mattis almost got knocked up onto Himalaya, though, but couldn't quite do it. 3 teams left, and it's a comfortable couple squads here in this final group death match here. Bigfoot, they've got the side of SAS versus Fallen Angels versus level 1. Only one of them can take it out on top. However, we have lost 1 knock-up on Wisdom for the side of Fallen Angels. They are split down. Smiler down on the low ground as well. And they're really struggling right now. Fallen Angels lose 2 to knock-up from SAS. Now only Smiler alive. But here comes the rest of the squad, and that will be Smiler down as well, as SAS take another comfortable 4 kills, 11 kills on the board right now.
Yeah, really well timed push for Omon there. He definitely understood that they were knocked and revving and just went down with a surprise spray, finished them both off. Danny only needs to get rev now, and this level 1 v SES fight can really start to get underway. But looking like SES are ignoring Danny's knock for the second, and Danny will be finished off. So
down.
It's a 2v3 situation now for SAS. But now they're already on top in second place with 11 kills. You have to remember they are currently like so far ahead in the leaderboards. This is a big W for them anyway, to continue that momentum and not be taken out last place.
Zlock here also just trying to smoke up the side of SES, finish him off. Is out to level 1 to try deny these 20 chicken dinner points. Epic though, trying to find an angle onto Bunny. Bunny going low. Looks like he will be shot down.
That's another name I got corrected on. Dipuk. Oh, Zylock and Bunny. Yeah, Dipuk, Irish, Gaelic, Y. And yeah, that is a nightmare. Now level 1. Hammerlonair pushing around the back now. Got to take out both of them. Dipuk does go down. But Hammerlonair will be finished off from reverse with just that little scraping of health. And that puts SAS, our leaderboard winners, in the front again. This is ridiculous for them. So far ahead right now. So far ahead in points. None of the teams that are on their tail in that leaderboard came into top 3.
Yeah, exactly. And the side of SAS here, another chicken dinner for them. They've managed to secure themselves 9, 12, 14 kills in total. And they're now going to have to go into these next 2 games and continue to try and make their lead. However, still 2 games to go, as we say. So we've still got a chance of these squads here to take down the side of SES, take them down early. There were a number of teams who went after this team early on in the middle of the game as well, but just couldn't quite finish off and unfortunately give those kills over, give those points over to SES, which they need to increase their lead even further.
Are you still on the scoreboard there, mate?
I am still on the scoreboard.
Just screenshot, please. I haven't got the iPad out.
No worries. I'll screenshot them right now.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, it's a bit. I can't scroll very well on the computer, and that's harder to screenshot too. So it's great. Cheers, mate. But yeah, that's just. I mean, anyone who isn't SES is thinking right now is, I'm glad this is the test run, because this is the initial test run of Penetrate running these scrims as a league that goes throughout the RP season, and this will be switching over with the next RP season in the next week or 2, maybe. I'm not entirely up to date with it because I haven't been playing PUBG Mobile as much as I used to. But the next RP season is starting soon, and this league will reset with SAS on top of it. But everyone else is thanking their lucky stars that this is not the full RP season with the full cash prize, etc. And they get another chance at it, and they've learned from it, and they can watch back on these streams that we've done and uploaded and maybe see how they can improve.
Yeah, it's going to be up for these teams to really study the side of SES. Actually, a good performance there from the side of level 1. They put up the fight. Actually, I like their strategy towards the end, trying to smoke down the side of SES, deny them that chance to recuperate as a team together on those final 2 members. But they couldn't quite finish it off. They didn't have the vision on it, exactly where the side of SAS were as a result of these smokes they threw down in advance, and unfortunately got sniped out. We saw at the end, unfortunately, Bunny by the side of Daypick there also getting shut down towards the end.
Yeah, and Hamilton was the not only was the only player who had any kills. Just check there, 8 kills for Hamilton for level 1, and no one else had any. It doesn't mean they didn't do anything useful. I'm not saying that. They're great support roles, but that is a very high frag count for Hamilton, and what a shame that they couldn't finish off that final 1v2 because they had a player in front and a player behind.
Yeah, and going into this second game, it's going to be interesting to see how these squads now decide to take their drops, how they decide to go further forward. We actually saw a really strong performance from the side of Gods of Greece with all those early game weapons. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take those into kills, take those into the late game far enough towards the point where they could start getting really serious game points as well as kill points on the board. So unfortunately, Gods of Greece are a team that I think have that early game advantage, but they need now to show us how they can pull through to in the late game against these champion squads like the side of SES, like even the side of level 1, who have managed to secure themselves these high game points already.
Next up, we'll in about 1 minute the room will be opening, and 10 more minutes the game will be starting. We do have a wrangle, and we'll see if these teams are going to be landing in their typical drop zones, because that's the other thing about this league progressing. You get to learn the drop zones about a team much better if you're keeping up to date with the streams, etc. And there's some very habitual drop zones for some teams, and say SAS always drop at military, or their alternative drop zone. They could have people that have two or three main drop zones, depending on where the flight path is. Say it's military, Georgia Pole, and what's in the northeast, Yasnaya. Then you can look at that flight path and say, oh look, Yasnaya right on the flight path. Military's not quite close to it. Georgia Pole's not quite close to it. So let's meet SAS there and take them out early, because it gets to that point in the league standings where if you're not deleting these teams early, they're just going to dominate. And if you're not trying to and no one else is, you're also maybe possibly wasting your time, because if you're in 4th place and you're letting that top 3 stay in that top 3, then they will. So it gets to the point where you might actually even have to go hunting in a league situation and try and destroy these teams to hold them back.
Yeah, definitely have to agree. And actually, the side of SES now about 217, 18 points in the lead as the leaders right now. And side of Animal Lines going to be really close on that second place. But as well, I think Gods of Greece may just have outposted them right now in this first game, as they were only 9 points behind going into tonight. The side of, however, Voodoo and Incognito Blue, though, they're going to need to have better performances going into a wrangle to secure themselves these higher positions and keep themselves even in the top 5, with the likes of level 1 now showing up with those 8 kills, as well as the second place finish, scoring himself those 14 points. It's going to be those 22 points, boosting them up, and could actually be ending up taking those top 5 spots, or one of those, away from Voodoo or Incognito Blue.
You're still getting comments about your car, bro.
I'll continue to get them.
Atlas says car stream. He says, he's in a car. I'm in a wrangle right now. You look at me. I'm chilling by the mansion. You can just see I'm just chilling by my mansion. My mansion, might I add. I own this mansion right now. Have you seen this setup I've got? When we come onto the webcams, I put it. You got to see it, man. It's so funny because I'm on green screen and I need to be inside a frame next to your frame. I've just given myself a background that's like a screenshot of the mansion off PUBG PC. But yeah, you're always gonna get comments commentating from that car, bro.
I'll continue and I'll embrace it. I'll embrace it. I've done it. I started off in the car and I'll continue in the car. Do
you reckon when we make the big leads, they're gonna let you drive that car into the stadium and commentate from it?
I so hope so. I so hope so. They'll see me driving in one of those PUBG vehicles into the stadium. That's gonna be exactly how I'm gonna enter.
There was a big Comic-Con in America where they had the PUBG pans, they had PUBG helmets, they had the vehicles, they had the UAS. It was amazing, man. But really cool. Wish we could have been there, but yeah, ain't no traveling over the water right now, I'm afraid.
No, not just now, not just now. Also, I want to kind of highlight the different areas on Orango that we can like to see here in the drop zones and etc. We kind of see these drop zones like the drop zones like Roshawk or even above the school are these hot drops, as well as the military base can also be a hot drop going across the bridge. But even we see teams going towards the farm purposely to bottleneck these teams if there are going to be a couple teams dropping towards the side of that military base and deny them that ability to cross over into the map if the zone starts shifting into the center. We also have to keep an eye on the types of guns that are available as well, Bigfoot, and we have to keep an eye out for the likes of DP28 with that long clip can be used to spray from range, as well as a couple snipers are going to be good here on the Erangel map, where we do sometimes see a very open finish where it is just about using the vehicles, using the smokes, using the snipers to take down these enemy teams.
Yeah, and that DP only on a Wrangle can spray through a vehicle so easily. A DP and an M4, I think, can blow up a vehicle with one clip each. Of course, landing most of those shots or all those shots. So it does add a good dynamic as a different map. And I would like to see a lot of these teams following in the footsteps of teams like, say, Godsend, who used to be the 100, who are a tier 1 team who are inside our TDM tournament. And when I watch them in Classics, they nearly always have 4 vehicles pushing through this last zone. And when it gets to zone, say, 7, maybe 8, maybe even 6 if they have to, they'll be pulling up those vehicles in a V formation on either side of a tree or a rock. And they create their extra cover. And this is something I would really like to see some of these other teams that aren't quite in the top big leagues start to utilize and look at what the big leagues are doing and see how effective it is to have 4 vehicles in zone 7 or 8 and pulling them up around a rock can just be so useful compared to only having that rock alone.
Yeah, and even the likes of the M249 on the airdrop, we sometimes see it in Sandhawk, but on a Wrangle here, one of those weapons that we can expect to see as well. Even the likes of the locations as well, as we talk about a military base, you've got those 3 main sections split around a military base, and one of them being that C block shape, which is guaranteed almost every time to allow squads to loot themselves up. Even the police station beside it, even the warehouses on the west or on the east warehouse as well, all good loot locations, as we always see on if the plane path allows it teams inside the military base there.
I just got a message from Diepuck saying, just call me Die if it's easier. Because in the clinch of the last bit of that, I know Diepuck's real name, I know the pronunciation, but we were moving fast and I still said DiePC, and it must be so annoying for Diepuck to be called DiePC once a week. I'll do my best to just never say that, be it Die or Diepuck.
Call him Die.
Yeah, Die.
I'll settle for Die myself.
Yeah, 4 minutes to go. Have you got the room codes there? I can only send a screenshot, I'm afraid.
I do have the room codes.
Yeah, have you not got permissions? We can get that sorted, dude. Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, it does seem weird that I can't access it, but we'll continue with it tonight, just with the DMs. I think and get that sorted after the stream. And I'm just looking at your DMs. 4,200 messages on notifications.
Oh, mate.
How did you manage?
Where is that? Oh, mate. Well, it's Discord's just weird for me, man. It's like, why can I get so many notifications of stuff that has nothing to do with me, and how do I clear them? Do I have to go through every server?
You have to. So if you like right click the server and then you go to notification settings, you just literally click that and you just mute everything on that.
Or mute server until I turn back on. So if I mute every server that I don't participate in on a weekly basis. Yeah, because
if you literally just mute that server and that will get you.
Yeah, because literally, I'll tell you the servers I actually use. It's a very short list. It's AMG, which is the company managing people that work for Trovo right now. Penetrate, Zenith Pro EU, Brute, PUBG M Masters League, Gods of Greece, UK and EU Clan Leaders Hub, Sons of Odin, Dream Team, Riot, and that's about it. Accelerate, maybe, if we keep doing that. That's really it for now. So I can easily mute the rest of the servers because they're the servers I spend use on a weekly basis, and the other ones I just pop in and out of.
Mm. And going into these next two games, what is the last map that we've got out of interest for tonight here, Bigfoot?
It's going to be. Oh, sorry, I broke out there. It's going to be Sandhawk, and you've got a beautiful pattern on your face from that window there, mate.
I do.
The sun's came out in
it's rain
Scotland.
coming down, the sun's
Yeah.
come out. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
So what about Newcastle?
Yeah.
It's still miserable, mate. It's miserable. It's miserable right now. They've added dynamic weather to Scotland map, I think. 10 cent.
I do. It changes every time on this face cam.
I'm just going to run through people who are tuned in right now and give them a shout out. Those of you who've signed up to Trovo and have your usernames, big up 67 Luca, big up Vape Houdini, and please tell me why you never corrected me saying your name Vape Hud 1-in-1 for the past 5 months. I'm now going to call you Houdini, and I cannot believe I never noticed that reading. Big up Medusa, big up Atlas, Woody GOG, Ink, Lucifer, Synchro, Lionhearts, Matitsu, and Gods of Greece Argus. Welcome and thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, and all these people tuning in, if you do want to follow, and I suggest you do follow Bigfoot in the little link there, you'll see it in the green box just to the bottom right of the video. Make sure you give him a follow. We're going for those 200 followers and trying to stay in that Trovo 500.
Oh, we'll have no drama this month, I think. We're doing good. We're doing loads of streams, and people are tuning in, and we really appreciate the support. Yeah, if you hadn't heard, there is a Trovo 500. It's the top 500 on the site, and we're trying to stay within that. So every bit of support
really
helps.
big for sure. And I'm really impressed with staying inside it for now. What is the second month here, Bigfoot?
Yeah, it's really good, man. It's absolute opportunity that shouldn't be wasted. I would like to thank, probably that no one's listening, but I would like to thank Trovo for the opportunity and for the continued support. L Lionheart's Matitsu, nice tips. So drunk I can't play. Is that why Lionheart's aren't in the game? You've all been drinking. I guess it is pubs opening Independence Day or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah, by that time it will be. I don't know. I mean, as we wait for this Erangel map, can we have like a list of the teams in 6th, 7th, kind of 8th place? Have we got that as well to go over?
Yeah, I can jump in the results. It's not the highest resolution, so I've got to have a little squint my eyes a bit. Try and open it up on another screen. I can tell you who the top fragger is. Let's go through the fraggers a second. Omond, Hazy, and Dipuk. Okay. Omond 35 kills, Hazy 23, and Dipuk 20. Perseus in 4th place with 19, and Sicko 19 in 5th place there. Rebel from Animal AMZ Lions 18 in 6th place for the frags. Vidma 17 in 7th. Kira, who's, because no one else can read their name, is now going down in Penetrate history and the Penetrate server as stupid name. But that's 16, so Kira doing pretty well as well. So that's looking like AMZ, Animals Lions, and Gods of Greece and SAS dominating the top frags right now. But yeah, so after Incognito Blue in 5th place, we've got Incognito in 6th, RAF Blue in 7th, Z Paradox in 8th, the Elves 2 in 9th, the Elves 1 in 10th, Magic Madness, who I don't think have even played every week, in 11th, Pen Gunners in 12th, Pen Game Over in 13th. Just Y in 14th. I think we have to squint over at these. Well, yeah, so that's going to be the majority of those top places. That's the team standings. Clan standings is different because this is Clan Wars, and you are allowed to have 2 clans in it. So looking at Team Incognito in 5th and 6th place on the team standings, they are actually in 1st place in the clan standings, with Vapex Voodoo in 2nd. So this is the difference of the clan scoring. They have 2 teams involved. Don't think this contributes to the final prize, but it's more like the what's the word? The reputation of the clan on the line. You know, so
Yeah.
Incognito can stand high as we're a powerful clan with a regular double squad that can join this and dominate. But SAS with the highest team score will be taking that prize money.
I mean, SES with the highest team score by a very wide margin. And this is where it's so important to still continue to get these high points, because starting today, even though they were, 54 points ahead, that can still go south for you if you do have a couple bad games. And that's all it takes, is a couple bad games. And these teams in second and third to have some really amazing games themselves, and suddenly you're looking at the scoreboard not looking so far away from first place, continuing in. And it really is still all to play for the side of SES. They still have to ensure that it can at least survive some way into the second and the third game on Erangel and Sanhok respectively, because there still is these squads moving up the leaderboard here who can potentially still get really close, if not barely overtake the side of SES.
I don't think it's possible myself. I think they're just going to dominate. They're so far ahead. But I wish everyone all the best in catching up and dominating. You have to be taking SAS out early. There is not much of a way of doing this.
Should we just notice where SES dropping and we'll see 10 teams just drop at random?
I mean, yeah, everyone hunts them down. That could be some good chaos, yeah. But,
the game over before even seconds zone.
I mean, someone did say nice tips, dude. Maybe they were because of the 5-minute delay. I don't know exactly what they were talking about. Maybe Matitsi was talking about tournament tactics when about 5 minutes after I say that. Oh, Kratos, thank you. Kratos says, I missed hearing your voice, Bigfoot. Cheers, Kratos. Where you been? Where's my watch hours? Give me my watch hours, Kratos. No, seriously, Kratos. Actually, I'll have to type that because you'll get that in 5 minutes. The delay. It takes 10 minutes to have a conversation with a 5-minute delay, doesn't it?
It really does. 2 messages a message every 5 minutes. Oh man. Still obviously waiting on this second game coming in. I mean, I'm just super excited to now go on to Erangel here. I mean, Erangel I always like to see, because Erangel can go any way for any team. I've seen really powerful teams go south on Erangel. We actually see loading into the map right now. We talk about these really good teams that have the potential still to go south, but other teams here have potential to go really high, get these high kills on the leaderboard. It all just matters in those split-second decisions, especially on Erangel, if we do have an open map to finish off.
Zone is everything on Erangel. So many varieties of finish you can have. Whereas, I would say in a map like Sanhok or Vikendi, the endings are a little bit more similar, generally, than Miramar or Erangel. I do love the way they added compounds to Miramar 2, though. Really did improve the end game in Miramar by a long, long shot. I think Miramar 1 was a little bit broken with the lack of cover and buildings.
Yeah, we see these teams preparing the match beginning in 5 seconds, and we're going to see this playing path spawn in. Looks like these teams right now going to be traveling from straight across the center, a really generous playing path right now, allowing almost every single place on the map open, minus the likes of the military base that we've been talking about, unfortunately. But a school is up. Also the farm, Pachinki still there. Also prison, an area where a team may choose to drop. Roshawk, and importantly, hospital and Georgia Pole on that western side. We always see a number of teams, and I expect to see that once more.
Oh, quite a few teams jumping out in the early stages already. Looks like Zed Paradox might be heading straight down to Lipovka. RPG heading north. Pen going south, maybe. I hope they're not going to prison. There's not enough loot there for them. I can assure them that. Looks like they are passing over maybe towards shelter and actually possibly even heading towards the Milta Road to get a vehicle to drive to Sosnovka Island. Just above, around the mansion area, though, it looks like we've got a dirty double drop already, and we're going to have to tune in. I was about to put the iPad on the opposite team, but it's shut down. Tab says, yo, who won first? SAS, SMH. Yeah.
Here we go. The side of Elf as well as Quantums here. Quantums, they didn't have a great first game. They've unfortunately only got 2 members here on their squad. And I advised Quantums to not go up against this 4-man squad of Elf. Elf also a team they need to ensure they can get these points to try raise himself in the standings. Not going to be a team that gets that first place, unfortunately, but can raise himself nonetheless on the final score. Also to the north, here's Naya Pollyanna. We have Animals Lines and the actual side of Team Incognito as well. Harrow going quite low though already as we actually see the squad of Vapex Voodoo really close towards them, surrounding all areas of this mansion. AMZ here making moves. Keeping an eye on the side of Incognito. Actually, they choose to actually run away. Elf managed to find one onto Domo though. Back inside the mansion, and it unfortunately will look like the side of Quantum's down once again. Numbers disadvantage there, really harming them in this second game.
Yeah, we shouldn't really be letting them start with just 2 players. It's kind of too much of a disadvantage to be fair for anyone, and ends up just being 2 free kills for a random team. Should really be 3 minimum. Does kind of disrupt the meta by having duos inside the game, and as you saw, it's very easy to smash for a duo. Lucifer making a big mistake and heading towards a place on the flight path that has got people inside already. And it looks like they're going to have to change their mind about that one and head towards another spot. And this is the problem when you really have to make that early game retreat and you don't have much loot. You're scrambling around for a place to loot up and you don't really know where's taken and where these teams have been already. Hopefully Incognito here just going to make it to this warehouse safely and get a bit more loot and move on. The shelter is still good to go. They could jump down in the shelter. They could jump down in shelter. Sorry, in prison. They could go down to the farm, but they don't have the information I have. And hopefully I wish them all the best they need to get the loot they need to continue this game.
Yeah, it will be, unfortunately, a really tough game for the side of Incognito here. But looking around the rest of the map, we do have 3 teams dropping inside of George Paul, including the side of SAS, as well as actually level 1 here, and the side of Penn. Game over there as well. So 3 really promising teams. A drop actually going to land straight on the side of a level 1 here. Round towards the eastern side. Animals Lines there as well. All these teams going to now get themselves stacked up with the items. Bigfoot, they're going to make sure that he can now find a way once his zone shifts to the second phase, away to the edge of the zone, get these compounds under lock and key for their squads. And looking really comfortable is actually the side of Fallen Angels in the center of this map right now already. Looking like they might travel down from school to Pachinki.
Yeah, Vape Denny on the outskirts of Mansion, maybe trying to pin the elves inside. Yeah, actually spraying down. Does get some good shots in, actually. Not a full knock, but taking someone down. It was Quan down to about 8 HP.
Bailey has eyes on the side of Denny, however. The smoke comes out. Bailey taking a couple of shots from the spray to smoke there. Locking himself in the compound. Vulnerable to perhaps a grenade if the side of Vape do have one. They make their moves closer, however. Denny now moving in. This team rotating round the side of the mansion next level as well, making rotations round. And as you decide of Elf, they're just going to choose to retreat inside this car. Waiting for some reason.
So pretty easy for Elves to get away from that. Luckily for them, they will not take any more kills just yet, as they do try and rotate into zone, and really, really massive zone. It always starts off with a wrangle. There's so much freedom to start with, and it comes in so slow. There's no pressure in a wrangle first zones. Pretty much ever. It's at least in comparison to places like Vikendi or Yeah, sometimes Miramar, if you've landed up in a top corner and it goes down to the opposite corner, that can be a lot of pressure too. But yeah, Zed Paradox now coming in. They've just came straight past Mansion. And why is the Mansion so popular today? We've had so many teams here. We've had 4 different squads hanging around Mansion. But yeah, Vape now making their move away too. Zed Paradox came in to join a fight that doesn't exist. And looks like they'll be left alone for now, but they can see the direction that Vape are driving in, and they might just make that pursuit.
Canop here, eyes on the side of the next level. Scope coming out. They can't quite find an angle on top of them as they drive in. Here comes Denny as well. Next level goes down, and here comes the rest of the squad. Can Canop do it? No, they cannot. The car blows up, and here comes Kata around the back of it. Matthew does go down, unfortunately, but not before trading down Kata. One last remaining member here for the side of Vape. Jumps out of the building. But Nish finishes him off, and that will be the side of Vape, but down. Paradox barely alive as Nish, the only surviving member.
That was really, really close there. There was some good movement there. Drop shot impressed me from the side of Vape Matthew, but once Matthew got that knock from the drop shot, did also get finished off by another player. And Cat is now standing. Ant-Man and Catnip will be able to stand back up. Zed Paradox going to be pretty buzzing with that result. 4 team kills, everyone's still alive, and a whole 4 boxes of loot to take for themselves.
Yeah, that car explosion there in that team fight, unfortunately, did hinder the side of Vape. They took that damage, unfortunately, which did bring down the health bars of the members while they were trying to fight. And thanks to the damage that Catnip was putting into that vehicle there before they went down themselves. 4 kills going towards the side of Paradox. And they'll continue. Or Voodoo there, sorry.
So, I've rarely see people taken down by the red zone in scrims, but it looks like that's exactly what just happened to Wisdom. And I'm not sure if this is the Wisdom that's been spamming every single PUBG Discord server in the world or not. It might be, but if it was, that's called karma.
Really? All the way down in Navarro Penay?
Yeah, down here, yeah, this is what Wisdom was. There was a red zone, and Wisdom was down with no teammates around and no enemies around. So it could probably been the red zone. I just missed the kill feed. And yeah, there has been a player called Wisdom spamming so many discords recently, looking for a PMCO team because they've got a KD of 7, and yeah, it's just been a little bit irritating on a lot of the servers, to say the least. It's not how you find a team. I'm sorry, it's not how you go about it.
Airdrop there with the ghillie suit as well. And that will be Costa Grease happy with the loot there from that airdrop. And Costa Grease, another airdrop in their pockets. Making about, what, 6 airdrops now at least for them in these 2 games so far?
Yeah, well, there isn't a reward for that, unfortunately. The airdrops of the year. I mean, there is in the RP season or whatever, you know, you've got the scavenger award. I do know, I think there's a player I know personally that gets really high up in the scavenger award every season because that's all they do is run for every... That's how they play. They play the game airdrop to airdrop.
These teams now rotating in. Actually, this red zone to 9, the side of Elf. Access into Pachinki. Pen down below them.
Look at the way Gods of Grease pull up on a compound that is... you know, fair enough, in the middle of nowhere, but they don't just crash in. They try get some information first, little bit of peeking, and this can advise your tactics in a couple ways. It can advise how you approach compounds, but it can also advise how you stand inside a compound. So, you know, they scoped out this building. If you can hide your vehicle in this corner, like they have done, and then also stay away from the windows, which is a lot harder in FPP than TPP, you could have a surprise attack. Just using the audio instead, you know, you can get prone on that rooftop and wait for the cars to come in. Just bear that in mind when you're moving around these compounds, trying to get into a new one or trying to hold one down. It's important to check for the information if you're approaching it and to hide that information if you're already inside.
Yeah, often we do see teams just rush in, unfortunately, whether it has been a team there suffer because they've not got the positioning in that compound, whereas the team already situated in that building or that compound has already found themselves to the roof, to the high ground, or inside the building, on top of the stairs, even is another advantage for these teams. We saw the other day, Icy take down 3 members in one of the scrims there, just being on that high ground on the stairs. Just the advantage of height in this PUBG mobile game is so impactful for whoever has that advantage.
Yeah, much more so in TPP than FPP, because when you have that height in TPP, you can be prone out of sight and looking all the way down across an entire map almost. Say, for example, on those big cliffs in the northwest island of Sanhok. In TPP, that height is more of an advantage than it is in FPP, but either way it is, because you do have that. Well, the height advantage has clearly always been a military advantage. You will have to push up towards you with less vision. But definitely that is amplified so much more by the perspective, and I would love to see EU tournaments become more FPP based, because I do think it's more of an even playing field and definitely more competitive.
Yeah, we actually see the side of level 1 just getting really close to the side of Pen. Game over here, just looting up this final couple of buildings before we may decide to move closer in. This zone now shifting to a point where teams are going to want to decide to make it in closer to a compound in safety of this blue zone now coming in. We see Decider Pen in Pachinki already, and Fallen Angels maybe going to rotate round, scout this out.
I wondered about level 1 here, whether they know that Penetrate are here or not. It looks like they're just looting up, to be honest, oblivious. There could be a surprise shot by someone like Lobbyman just running towards Carbon right now, drinking an energy drink out in the open, not paying attention to open doors up on the left there. Big mistake, Lobbyman, you're in the open without information. If this was TPP, you'd be dead by Carbon's hands, but Carbon's playing that patience game, and Lobbyman walking into an extreme danger zone now. Yeah, that information has now been passed across. The information of those footsteps has now been heard and passed across. Carbon now waiting for the rest of them as Zylot pushes towards the rest to penetrate. Carbon moves round. Carbon coming to help the others, but could really do with pinning Lobbyman as best as possible.
Omen takes down Zylo as well there as well. Rush runs straight into the hands of Omen in that building.
So yeah, level 1 did not have that information. Down. Yeah. You know, sometimes when a squad pulls up on another squad, like that, it's easy to suspect that they might have seen the stream location or anything, but when they just run around oblivious like that, it instantly shuts that theory down. And we know that this is a fair game.
With the headshot onto Carbon.
Oh, that is an AWM, yeah. Hamanolnir is holding the AWM and didn't see when level 1 picked up this gear, but that is going to equalize this fight a little bit now.
Another one goes down. Omen, the one-shot AWM takes down the second, making your way down to Lobbyman, but still got to take out 2 more other side of Fallen Angels here.
They need to keep the pressure on Pen. Like, it's going to be a bit ridiculous if they let them get all those revs up and their health back up. And Carbon is standing. The health's going to be going in. Hamalonir being tentative and waiting for the team to be revived, but there needs to be continued pressure, even if it's just spraying the smoke and throwing random grenades. Hamalonir kind of making a small mistake here by letting Pen have time to regroup and reheal.
Yeah, all those AWM shots taking down 2 members of Pen now for nothing, as those remaining 2 members who were knocked up now once again, and it's going to be difficult for Hamalonir. He moves back tentatively for range, but Carbon spots him out. Lobbyman is up, however, once again. Bunny as well, trying to find an angle. Lobbyman in the thick of it, though, as well. Has to keep an eye out for Carbon on this flank. Lobbyman very open to Carbon's shot right now. There he goes down once again.
This is the Pen we dreamed of. Handling this situation really well. And also, they were given a bit of a green card by Hamalonir's lack of pressure there after getting 2 knocks.
Yeah, Lobbyman's mispositioning there. Hamalonir's tenacity there to engage on top of Pen. Lobbyman needs to watch his positioning here. The grenade goes wide, but very risky now. Lobbyman risking now the health of Hamlinair. The grenades come in, doesn't take him down. No. Carbon down to Bunny though. Their flank has gone. Carbon rotating back to Devious. But has to get through an open area of the map. Lobbyman could have this covered. Bunny on the edge. Smoke. And Frag actually going to go over onto Carbon. Misses. Omen on the high ground. Bunny keeping an eye on Omen, has eyes. Hamlinair takes down Tarzan.
Wow, Hamlinair is bullying Penetrate right now. And now the zone's leaving them out of it. They're going to have to wrap this up and move on. They either need to move on or kill them and move on. But either way, this can't go on forever like this in the zone.
And notice this rotation round from the side of level 1. They've actually managed to secure themselves the safe side of this zone, and they've choked the side of Pen out with these rotations from Hamlinair down into the blue zone first. Pen really struggling right now. Devious down to a one shot from that AWM there from Hamlinair. This gun putting in the work.
Just not really utilizing the pressure enough right now. And every time they get a knock, they kind of just stand around, and they really could be wiping the floor with Penetrate if they just had that extra bit of aggression right now. And Lobbyman having solo aggression in the area where there wasn't a knock is just a big mistake. They should have marked the building where Devious was knocked and pushed all three together. But instead, they sent one person to the building where no one was knocked, and now it is a 4v2 situation in the hands of Penetrate. And it might look like no matter how absolutely amazing Hamlinair is with that AWM, they will not be able to come out on top. And I think level 1 have realized this as they start to make a retreat.
Keep in mind there's only so many bullets for the AWM. You cannot get the bullets for the AWM outside of airdrops as well. You need to try preserve those, and a lot of those shots from the AWM have already been used. Elf actually taking a couple knockups on the other Penetrate team though.
Definitely going to jump across the map to that fight as we leave level 1 behind. And some knocks come back as Vish takes out Quan and Sam. And the other elf members are driving away now, leaving the retreat behind. Bit over in the distance, I just seen a car flip. That would be Gods of Greece actually flipping around. And also Incognito driving straight past or driving around with Fallen Angels. And here we have, oh my god, another squad pulling in on Penetrate. Just as they managed to get out of the situation they were in, RPG have pulled up. Murdoch does explode a vehicle, taking out Decoy and Balor as Menace DP storm down. Python, the last one standing now, and is going to keep on driving away, just about making it. So that does leave Penetrate now with 5 team kills.
In the center here as well, Bigfoot, we've got about 4 different teams here. AMZ losing a couple members, so Vidma takes down one of the side of AMZ.
Ruins are
AMZ
hot.
now moving in though. Here comes Mattis with the vehicle, driving in with a buggy, very aggressive into the Incognito side. Both the Incognito teams, Fallen Angels and AMZ here. Very, very close. A number of people knocked down. Smoke grenades from Mattis to try get towards his team. Anarit there goes down to Hazi.
Yeah, Amaret, I think, was trying to smash down Mattis, but Hazi turned round pretty sharpish with the support. And it's always so cute when you see these teams just chilling and revving up next to each other with just a tiny bit of cover between them. It's just like, hang on guys, we'll get back to the fighting in a second. Just gotta get these revs done. We do see Wisdom stand up, sending some more smokes out, I think. But Hazi's about to peek over and finish Wisdom straight back down. Diablo and Smiler healing up at the side of that. UAS there. Nicole, Hazi, and Matas handling this situation like pros right now. Still alive when they shouldn't be, but I say that and Matas gets taken down by another surprise angle. There is so many angles going on right now in the ruins. I do often say don't go to the ruins unless you have the church with an exit strategy. So that is where Incognito 15 are. Incognito Blue pushing through this area as well.
Grenades war here between AMZ and Diablo from Fallen Angels right now, but Diablo not throwing the nades where he needs to be, and here comes AMZ from behind. Hazi from the behind, can he find it?
Run straight past them. Get in the smoke, Hazi, you just ran past them. What are you doing? They do make it away.
Yeah,
Oh, they're
yeah,
trying to
here
drive
comes
away.
Diablo can't quite get away though. He has him locked down. And there goes the side of Fallen Angels. Another from Incognito Fall as well. Carbon also going down to the side of SAS. SAS now locking actually back. Penning game over squad into the blue zone again. Is now SAS decide to drive into this fight perhaps.
Wow, SAS coming up here to this choke point is such a cheeky position to take, right on the edge of zone where there's still teams out there.
Mattis and Hazy here looking round. Have to keep an eye on both these Incognito teams. Playing a very sneaky game right now. Alexa has been knocked down. Here comes Lucifer behind the car. Smoke grenades up.
Such a nightmare for Penetrate here. Danny trying to knock Tarzan out with the Car 98, and there Omond will finish it off with the M4 as Tarzan goes straight down because they're in the he's in the water there. Devious and Omen heading towards a new compound to get a new vehicle. Hopefully not going to bleed out. I wish you all the best there. Going to have a check on RPG now here. Moving in on Z Paradox. Python almost down and then finished off by Cat as Spray. Python doing that solo survival thing, but Z Paradox still with 4 standing. Aren't going to let them get away with that. Jumping back to Ruins now. We're going to see how AMZ are going to, if they can pin the rest of Incognito out of this zone or not. Because
keep in mind this is 2 different Incognito teams as well. We actually see one of them deciding to rotate away from the safety of this zone here. AMZ, Hazy, and Mattis. So Animals Lines keeping an eye out a standoff between that church where Vidma and Cuevas lie. Vidma being shot down a couple shots by Hazy. But here come the side and the back foot by Penn, driving in another team to this fight.
Looks like they're just going to take the buildings up here for now and maybe wait and see where the zone goes, but it could be highly likely that this is the only compound in the final zone, and Penetrate have already taken it. Murdoch, Vish, Cons, and Menace. Maybe something to do with some... We've been talking about tactics recently in the Pen chat, saying maybe one... maybe like getting to zone. One thing to take advice with is to get to zone earlier. That's what I've been noticing a lot in the tier 1 scrims, is the claiming of these compounds. Taking these compounds as quick as possible, and admittedly right now I wouldn't say that was as quick as possible, but it was quick enough for them to have it in this situation. And getting these compounds inside zone, and if not compound, like a high ground position with some nice trees and rocks or something similar, but just getting in there early, and so you're not out on the edge fighting through other teams trying to get inside.
Yeah, we see actually the side of level 1, Buddy unfortunately knocked down, going to keep falling for their team. Ant-Man secures that kill. Hamelonero, the sole survivor. Now turning up to the side of SAS, so can they survive? The vehicle gonna try to run down Hamelonero. There's nothing they can do, and there they go down to SAS. The AWM gonna fall into the side of SAS's hands. And that is not a weapon you want to be giving the team in the lead on this scoreboard.
God. Someone stop them. Okay, now we're going to check out the other Pen squad driving into zone. Omen here with the Uzi in one hand on the back of this motorbike. Devious driving. Oh, shots coming down. Devious FPP motorbiking. Trying not to get shot could be a nightmare. Maybe it's time to go get some new armor, Devious. And there's a drop right there. No, I don't think... Oh, my days. Driving towards this compound too. But of course it's already taken, Devious. You're about to fight the entire Gods of Greece squad right now. Bang.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, just immediately wiped off of the map. Gods of Greece happy with those 2 kills.
So yeah, once it's later days into the zoning, you're sometimes better off avoiding the compounds and heading for a tree. I know it's not ideal.
I think what Penn need to do is they need to rotate sooner. In these last 2 games, they found themselves choked out of compounds towards the late game. They need to try rotate around away from these teams sooner rather than later, because they leave it too late in these last 2 games and they're struggling for safety. The car blows up though. Penn Menace secures those 2 kills.
Nish goes down to Gog as well. So Catnip, the last one standing for Zed Paradox. And this is why, there we go, both of them gone. This is exactly what we're talking about, taking these compounds early. And if you're late, you can't be... There's the way to take... there's a way to take these compounds late, and that's crash them with your full squad, all your nades, and all your power. And if you can't take it, bad luck. But that's all you can do. If you want it, you've got to crash it like that. You can't just casually drive past it, because you're going to be obliterated by the squad inside. It's either avoid it at all costs, or crash it with all strength. There is no middle ground in these later zones.
And what I've noticed is this SAS squad still on the outskirts, cheekily waiting, as we often see, like we saw last game as well, waiting for these teams on the edge of the blue zone to kill each other and secure those high game points towards the end of the game. We see Griso and AMZ perhaps going to clash together now. Mattis, a grenade over, but now in the open. AMZ, they're gonna struggle against this Gods of Greece squad with no compound and no safety. But here comes actually Nicole managing to find one onto the side of against Gods of Greece here.
Yeah, they've got really good movement right now. Matas is heading around the side already. Atlas is actually going to be taken down by SAS coming in and joining the party now. AMZ are hopefully looking at the kill feed and realizing exactly what's going on right now. SAS sandwiching gods between AMZ as well, and that is just a nightmare position to be in. We're currently looking at 3 of the leading squads in our clan wars, fighting it out in an awkward situation. And honestly, for everyone else's chances, I hope AMZ can stop SAS getting into this zone. But of course, for SAS's dignity and supreme honor, I hope they can get in themselves and win.
Argus with the smoke set, just trying to secure himself a little bit of safety. Penetrate, get a knock up themselves. They're the only team inside the zone. Kevish going down. Bitma, the only one alive for Incognito Blue now. Couple shots from Argus. Actually manages to find Danny through the smoke, but Argus gets immediately found by Omond and deleted. And there goes Gods of Greece.
Wow.
As we see 5 teams, risky plays, but giving himself away was not the play. They've now gone down. Gods of Greece in 6th place. Mattis Nicole's going round.
Can 3 animals take out the SAS team?
It's going to be hard. They do have the AWM. Keep this in mind. Matt is really struggling. Goes down to the spray from Omond. There's no way in. It's so open without smokes. It's going to be almost impossible to come up against a full squad of SAS. Penn keeping everyone at bay, though, outside this zone, hoping they can try keep these teams off while the blue zone chokes these remaining teams out. AMZ, Elf, Incognito, and SAS, as well as Penn. Here, the final 5 teams alive. Penn already on 9 kills.
Yeah, Penn are going to be really happy with us. I'm not going to lie, they've had an awkward start to this tournament. Not even in the top 10, I don't think. Not either of the teams, and we are hosting this. So it's really nice to see Penetrate make this early movement into a compound in zone and see how they come out on top because of that. And I wonder how many vehicles they've got left. I wonder if they can even start doing what we were talking about of taking these vehicles in. It looks like they've got 2 for now. So they actually even still have an opportunity to crash to the next zone if they need to. This is in a really strong position right now. If they don't take these vehicles with them, I'm going to be having words, because you see this zone is so close to the edge. It's so simple just to push these vehicles towards one of these trees, at least for zone 7 or 6. So yeah, zone 6 and then zone 7, go on feet if the vehicles are blown up, but still it is worth bringing them with you. So please Penetrate, hear my mental stimulus and bring those vehicles with you to these last zones, and we'll see some real tier 1 execution of the final zone.
Yeah, there's only this one compound in the play zone right now. Penn do control it. However, these teams will have the eyes up. There's 2 different angles of shots coming. AMZ versus SAS. So AMZ managed to find one onto dive. Now also Psycho perhaps going to go down. Nicole manages to find them. Another from SAS. Fallen. Knocked up.
Psycho, that's good. It keeps SAS on the back foot for the rest of these teams.
Omond and Danny still alive, but the revive from Danny already to his teammate Omond. The grenade
Omon's cheeky. Rotating that far away from the squad to hunt for kills is a very, very confident and cheeky maneuver. Much respect for that. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, mate, during this every night of the Penetrate Clan Wars League now, we have to choose one bot of the night, which is just a joke award for something dumb that happens. There we have Waz getting taken down by
Well, there we
Omond.
go. I was going to say, unfortunately, Bailey walks out straight in to the side of Omond.
Omond does get taken down. And there's the bot award, which can be anything, any funny moment of the night or any dumb moment of the night goes to there's the Mofo bot award, and there's also Mofo Killer award. It's kind of like man of the match without a gender. It's Mofo Killer award there. We have SAS taken out by Penetrate on the edge of zone right now. Can they continue this momentum against the last two players, AMZ, who do have to run through the open? Look at the effectiveness of taking a center zone compound early on and running it.
This is the rotation I wanted to see from a Penetrate team. They have rotated early, and this is the advantage of rotating early before the teams get there, is you can secure these kills, you can clean people up. They've secured themselves 13 comfortable kills in the only compound right now in the map. But they have to be careful. They don't want to be too aggressive. They want to keep themselves in this compound, choke the side of AMZ down, and secure themselves this win. You don't want to get overconfident and lose out. Hazy down. This tree, the only thing it's going to keep them alive. But in 10 seconds, this zone is going to move in and force AMZ out of this cover. Fish coming round, and Nicole just gets blown up, and that will be the end of the game as Penn take the chicken dinner.
Wow, beautiful stuff there. And my little mini lecture about the cars, I kind of retracted. I didn't have the full information of where the circle was. There was no need to take those cars. I thought the circle shifted away from those houses, but they didn't. I can't quite zoom in fully on the emulator like I can on a phone for some reason. But yeah, beautiful stuff. I've seen Omond in the chat for the first time ever, or a long time. That team is normally standing at the end of the match, and yeah, it's funny. It's kind of surreal to see them jump into the chat before the end. Can you get screenshots there, bud? Is that all right?
I've already done it. Already underway.
You're on it. Let's jump over here then.
I mean, looking at the stats right now from this second game, the Wrangle is always going to be a strong game. I actually really like the aggression from these teams. We've only actually got a total of 14 teams in the last two games, but the aggression and the team fights that I've seen from these teams in the last two games has been actually arguably at times more than a lobby with 18 or 19 teams, because every team is making sure their positions, making sure that time which they fight at is top notch on the highest level, and really just making sure that when these teams do move in, and their confidence to move into three other teams maybe already fighting, and we saw that in that four-way fight around the church. It's just the positioning of these teams allows this fight to really stay out longer rather than just be a bloodbath of three teams getting wiped out instantly.
Big shout out to everyone that managed to make it to that top three. It's SAS again, even though they were on their back foot and not in first place. Still with 10 teams at 10 points in third place. They're still obviously top of this leaderboard. AMZ getting a nice little catch-up point there. Incognito in fourth with 4 kills. Elf fifth with 2 kills. Gods of Greece in sixth with 4 kills. And I don't know which Incognito team's which without the numbers and colours, I'm afraid. So the other Incognito team 7th there with 0.
Yeah, Penn taking those 15 kills, the chicken dinner, the highest amount of kills in that game. So they're going to secure themselves a really comfortable 35 points. And moving on to this final map in Sandhawk, it's going to be another map where these teams can get themselves loads and loads of kill points. And it's going to be so important to see which team can take advantage of Sandhawk as a really bloodbathy map and get those kills on, get those points, and secure himself a higher point in that leaderboard.
I've just switched the Erangel picture for a picture of a car, and now we look a little bit more like we're part of a team. I'm inside a car too, buddy. I wish you could see. You had to switch on the stream in 5 minutes.
I should.
Oh wait, I can take a screenshot. Wait,
I've kept the stream on here.
Wait there, I'm gonna send you a screenshot.
Okay, you send me a screenshot. We're gonna be a team. You don't have the ever changing like the light levels though, man.
No, it's not realistic. I'm not gonna lie. It does look like I'm.
No.
It looks like the joysticks, the gear sticks, right up my You know, I'm in the middle of both seats, and that joystick is in a suspicious spot.
Okay, let's have a look. Yeah. Nice. I like it. That's beautiful, man. Yeah, you just keep that up, I think, for the rest of the stream. We should do that
Yeah,
for
I think
every stream, I think.
yeah, well, I've got a wrangle. You know, I could be anywhere. I might just change where I am every week in the frame. The running joke. Where is Bigfoot casting from in the webcam chat?
Oh man, I know.
So yeah,
I think
sorry. Go ahead.
I think I had like a tournament where I was like casting in 3 different locations. throughout about 4 weeks of the tournament. But we had it. It was another game, not PUBG, but different locations, moving about.
Yeah, well, if I got a gaming laptop, I could do this anywhere in the world technically. I just haven't got a strong laptop. It's a PC, so it's got to be a kind of like on a table with the setup. But yeah, if I make enough money off streaming, or just elsewhere, but I will probably try and buy a gaming laptop so I can even do this when I travel to another city, because doing this 6 days a week does restrict my movement around the country. I know obviously my movement's restricted at the minute right now anyway, but in the future that might change, and it would be nice to be able to, you know, go on a little wee Airbnb holiday, get myself a hot tub and a sauna, and still be streaming from the laptop and not be locked into one office. So that's probably a good plan to have.
Laptop in the sauna.
I don't know. I brought a book into a sauna once and it fell to pieces. So definitely not my laptop.
Oh man, I used to work as a lifeguard, and honestly, I could not go into the sauna. You had to clean the sauna sometimes, and see walking into a place that's like 30 degrees and just so clammy. You really feel it. I mean, I don't know. Like for me, I can't do saunas. I don't know about you.
Oh, I love them. I love them.
I just can't do them. It's too hard for me.
Bit like Pachinki used to be about 5 seasons ago. Now it's a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting you the codes here, mate, and I'll make sure you're in the permissions next week. I thought you would have had them from last time. Like we used to do Clan Wars. You must have done Clan Wars before, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Devious. Oops. Not for you. I just sent them to Devious. Sent the codes to Devious, who's the one who makes the room. There we go. Oman says, haha, third's good enough. GG, Pen. Of course it's good enough, mate. You're like 100,000 points ahead. You could come last like 3 games and still be ahead, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Not even like 3rd place with 0 kills. Like 3rd place with like over 10 kills as well. Like
yeah, that might be enough, mate. Maybe.
It's not like you're struggling. Get myself in this game here. I mean, looking towards the final game, I think this is just now about with, unfortunately, SAS getting, well, unfortunately for the other team, should I say, SAS getting those high kill points, getting the high position points in that second game. I really do honestly, truly feel that it is now just about these teams in these squads getting Sandhawk, getting these kills online, and just trying to boost himself up towards the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th place in the leaderboard, because there is no way now that SS can be really beat.
Yeah, I don't think anyone tonight is going to beat Devious for the Bot of the Night award driving into that Concrete compound. But we'll see. You know, the award has to go to someone, and you know, you might have been chuckling while all these other players get this dummy award every week, but now it's your turn. You invented it, Devious, and you're going to get it tonight. The Bot of the Night award goes to
winning something.
The Bot of the Night award goes to the winner of the inventor of Bot of the Night.
Yeah, I mean, what I want to see from this Penn team, and I like the side of actually what the Penn Gunners did, and they moved himself into the compound there towards the end. But what Penn Game Over needs to do, Devious, your team, you need to move around the map. You need to get out of these compounds earlier. You need to loot up and escape. If you are going to go really far out on the edge of these maps, you need to make sure that you can rotate correctly in time, because unlike other teams who are closer in the zone and they're gonna not have to run or drive as far to get to safety on the edge of the zone or a compound within the zone, you're gonna have to travel a couple 100 meters, and that's gonna take a minute, 2 minutes, even maybe longer if you do run into a team along the way.
Maxman says, WTF, all these green screens. I'm just like, no. Green screen. Wolf is in a car right now. He's in a car.
I am.
I'm wherever I want to be. In fact, I'm a bit bored of the car. I'm getting claustrophobic. I'm going back to Erangel. See?
Oh, man. I've been left inside the car. I hope I will get naded inside this car. I've been in it forever. Shut down.
Yeah, don't get exploded by Pen. They're in the last compound.
I've been just sat in this car. I've been camping it out all day. Oh man, Sandhawk Go gonna be a really exciting map. I mean, what is your favorite place to drop in Sandhawk, Bigfoot?
Back in the day, it was ruins every single time. Then it was paradise, and what are you talking, scrim or classic?
Scrims, I think. We'll go for scrims.
Scrim's my new technique that I'd advise everyone to do. Well, not everyone, because it wouldn't work. But I'd advise people in Sandhawk is just avoid the named locations. There's looking at the map carefully. There's a lot of OP high loot areas that you can zigzag between buildings without actually landing in a named location, and it avoids that early game chaos. So scrim wise, I would say my drop locations don't have any names, and I can't tell you. It depends where the flight path is. It depends how many players are jumping out the plane as the flight path goes on. But I would be using this live information to judge where a quiet, unnamed location would be to drop, and go from there. Maybe pushing, for example, through say you land at the Paradise Resort's here. There's a little compound next to it, and there's a long road to boot camp. Say you land at the end of that road at the compound next to Paradise, the unnamed compound next to Paradise, and you follow that road all the way down to boot camp, or vice versa. But that's a good technique. You head to these places where people are on their back foot because they've landed in a hot spot, and you've got full health and full loot to attack them with. So this is my new Sandhawk meta that I think should work, but because I stream so much, I haven't really got chances to try it out.
Yeah, do you think that it's beneficial for these teams to kind of move about into the center of these named compounds, like these central compounds like Boot Camp, Paradise Resort? Or do you think it's better just to kind of stay on the edge of these compounds and hope that maybe a second team cleans up and make your way around and try clean up as a third man?
Yeah, kill feed is your best friend in every game, but never more than Sandhawk, because it's such a tight map where people are pushed together. You need to be listening to those gunshots and listening to exactly what's going on and making those live decisions. It's a very live map, Sandhawk. Miramar you can approach with more of a set game plan and a set tactic that has to be less fluid, I think. Generally in Miramar you've got more clear movement around the map, but Sandhawk, with the amount of teams that are going to be jumping out from behind rocks or even bushes, you need to be acting live, and I think the kill feed's your best friend in that. Listening to the sounds of guns, seeing what teams and what guns are popping off in what areas, and just staying reasonably close-knit as a group, possibly with one overextended Overwatch and Scout, but generally you don't want to be any other than a 3-1 split in Sandhawk, in my opinion. But again, that's just my opinion, and you can take a 2-2 and it can work for you.
Yeah, I mean, for you, would you say you are a more aggressive person? You talk about all these kills. Do you think that you would go for being more aggressive and just chasing down these players from the outskirts, moving into these named compounds like Paradise Resort, like Boot Camp, which is really heavily contested and often is, unless the plane pass says otherwise?
Yeah, I used to be, and then I was in a scrim the other day, and I got pushed by a squad and ran away and ended up killing myself jumping off a cliff. So I'm definitely not as confident as I was, but had I be, like, say I was full flow back in the mobile gaming and not on the PC so much, I would definitely think Sandhawk is an aggressive hunting map. Those are Devious's words, actually. It's a hunting map. And you want to be moving around, just making sure the angles that you can be seen from are covered by you, and you know where you can be seen from, and you're watching those areas, and you're moving around the map, keeping an eye on that, looking for people to hunt out. And if you can, only ever really third party. But there are times when you can get good kills without having a third party, but it's just Sandhawk is a third party hunting map in my opinion. But then of course once you start opening fire, you're at risk of the third party, and Sandhawk can often go third, fourth, fifth, sixth party, especially in the smaller zones.
Yeah. I mean, definitely what we've seen so far is we've seen these teams group up towards the mid part of the game. We've seen 3-4 teams come together, and going into Sandhawk, which you say can have the potential to be a 4, 5, 6 team fight, we could definitely see a really beefy, bloodbathy fight on Sandhawk, where we see a number of kills go down on the map really, really quickly.
It does. You can see in Sandhawk it dropped from 15 to 6 teams in the matter of a 1 minute. It can happen. It's absolutely insane, and it's a nightmare to cast. It's a nightmare to commentate. It's a nightmare to move the camera forward. Yeah, I'm trying to follow this with the camera. I controlling the camera and the commentary, and I'm trying to do it all at once when there's like a team going out every 5-10 seconds. It can get insane.
I mean, props to the people who do the camera work. Obviously, in the PMCO in the later stages, the unspoken kind of heroes of these teams and the production teams who have to keep track of this, as we see maybe 6-7 teams drop in those minute and a half, those 2 minutes.
They have it easy though. They've got like 3 or 4 angles all run by one individual, and then then they have live editing, so they have 3 or 4 people running a computer running the different angles. Then they have one person choosing which angle's live, and then they have the commentators sitting with their hands in their lap, being able to commentate. So it's really, really smooth, and it provides for such a high quality stream. And I would love to get towards more of that, but right now it's just me and you, buddy.
Yeah, to get to the vision mixing stage, that would be something really hype to get control of, but obviously you do need a lot of cameras. I mean, I've been thankful enough in my degree in broadcasting to try do vision mixing, and oh man, it just feels so good to be able to just flick through different cameras, about like 5-6 different cameras at once.
Is that the industry name for when you've got the different angles and you're doing it live? I forgot.
It is, yeah. That is, so the vision mixer is the person who has all the camera angles in front of them on a big screen, and they are the person who decides which feed is going live to the casters in this sense for the gameplay.
Okay, so looking like Vape are going to take boot camp, and I just want to take a notice. Everyone, look at Vape's drop there. So they sent one duo down to boot camp doing the fast diagonal jump, like as fast as possible. They send the other duo down for like another couple hundred meters of the plane to come in from a different angle, and that's to check if there's anyone else landing. Watch where they're landing and land on the flank. And this is a really high grade tactic for dropping hot. One team goes straight down, one person or 2 people come down late, examining the playing field, landing on a flank, and keeping that information of where that other team is exactly.
Yeah, and it does actually look like the side of Penn will be Penn Gunners, as well as the side of Team Incognito and Gods of Greece going towards that Camp Bravo right on the edge of the map. Interesting to see that none of those teams decided to just go for those little compounds at ban or towards even scouting out boot camp on the edge. All 3 teams moving over to Camp Bravo, and we could see these fights break out really quickly against the side of Team Incognito and Gods of Greece.
Yep, there's already a kill there for Gods of Greece taking down Lucifer. Argus is really low, and Penetrate doing almost as if they were listening to me talking about landing in unnamed places there, but the thing is, if you are going to land in an unnamed place like that, you can't be landing all 4 in one spot. You've got to be taking a 2-2 split or something, because there's not enough loot in just that one compound. So maybe they should have had 2 there and 2 in the next one northeast. And this fight is getting underway seriously inside the Camp Bravo right now as Chaos is down. Atlas has been taken out and bled out. Alexa's down for Incognito. Synchro's desperately trying to get a bit more loot before continuing the fight. Maybe even ran out of ammo. Who knows?
Even knockups, even deaths 1 for 1, but slightly lower on the health bars for Incognito versus Gods of Greece right now. They are healing back up. Synchro down, half health. Argus down inside of Gods of Greece, half health. Chaos incredibly low. Perseus keeping an eye out on Synchro's position right now. Moving back. Here comes Synchro versus Perseus perhaps. Perseus moving back forward, but here comes the rest of Incognito as well. Alexa being revived up by Anorit there. Synchro moving round to the flank, making sure that Gods of Greece aren't making moves towards this duo. However, being split duo and one leaves them vulnerable in this game. Perseus could just dive onto Synchro with the rest of his team if they realize that Synchro is on their own. Bless you.
Thank you, mate.
Bless you again.
Oh, cheers. I think that was just dust, not corona.
I hope not. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be fine.
I had coronavirus in March. I had out in March, mate. It's chill. It's just horrible.
You did? Oh man.
Get over it. If you're young, it's just a really hardcore fever and stuff. Yeah. Some people don't get off so lightly, and God bless them.
God bless them all. But moving back to the game here, around this, actually does look like a really kind of mean zone right now. All these teams who rotated to the eastern side, like the likes of Penn and also God's Grease and Team Incognito, we've got about 35-40% of this zone inside water between the edge of that ocean and the rivers included. These teams gonna have to make a move. Still, Gods of Grease, so making his impact into the side of Incognito. Chaos moving around into Synchro. Can Synchro find a couple shots in? No. Jumps through the window. Perseus gonna fall down, maybe. Actually, barely survives.
Yeah, such
Chaos
good timing on that rev.
Retreat. Gods of Grease take down Synchro, though, on his own. They realize that, however, now Amaret and Alexa moving closer in.
Could get tricky.
They have to take down the side of Gods of Greece. The blue zone now moving in. They've got so far to run as well, both these teams.
There is a retreat for them. I was just about to say there's an anti-clockwise retreat for Incognito right now, and it looks like they're taking it before I could say so. And it will be probably 2 different diagonal runs to the zone. Actually, Gods of Greece probably going to hunt them, so Incognito are going to be running to the zone, earing slightly north.
Oh,
but I think
the red zone as well.
That's tricky. Very
That's
tricky.
going to really hurt them right now with the red zone. That may just be a level 1 zone, but they're going to be inside that zone until they get to safety in this phase, at the end of this phase 1 shift. And really, they're going to struggle if this zone keeps moving towards the westerly side, because they're going to be constantly running into teams and constantly be trying to heal themselves up. And they're just going to run out of med kits and healing as this zone eats them up slowly.
It's really not looking good for either of them, but I don't think it's fatal. They're going to make it in, just very low health and on the real back foot, running through so much zone. They're going to have to maybe even find a buggy or a scooter, but we'll see how they get on. But I think they'll be all right getting to zone-wise, but maybe not pin-wise. They might get pinned outside.
Yeah, we also see on the edge of the zone here, SAS playing that comfortable game that we like to always play on the edge of the blue zone, just scouting out the side of the map, trying to find perhaps a couple kills here and there on lone members from squads trying to loot up, or lower squads who don't have as many members towards the end of the game. In the boot camp still are Vape. But now moving through the bridge towards the northern side, we also see actually the side of RPG. These 3 teams, RPG, Fallen Angels, and the other Incognito Blue. Now on the northern side. On the southern side, also Penn on Penn Game Overs squad. Devious's team there, the host team. But here comes the zone favoring these teams, keeping them from what could be a drastically difficult zone. However, interesting zone here. Bigfoot has split this map into about 3-4 different areas.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about Sandhock. It's got the most like rivers running through it. It is a small, tight-knit map, and these rivers can separate a lot. There's only a couple bridges between each island, and And there's only actually one bridge between the northwest and the main island, and people often use that crossing next to boot camp, which is extremely dangerous and risky. And we've seen many a squad pinned inside that water from different angles. Vape, if they leave it too late, might be having to take that route themselves. But I'm pretty confident they'll be jumping out of boot camp and taking the bridge to the southwest in not too long. Maybe even before this zone pops again. But you can see SAS moving towards boot camp right now, and I think they're going to take the hill route. I doubt they'll go straight into boot camp. They'll probably run up this hill, keeping an eye on it. So that could provide to be extremely interesting as Vape move out. And it might be worth watching this happen from the get-go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if SAS do decide to go to boot camp, or if they like to play their version game, that they do just decide to stay in between these teams, between Painan and boot camp, but they could find themselves sandwiched between the side of actually will be Vape as well as XPX Elites. So they do have to be careful of their positioning moving into this zone.
Who's just fired a flare? Whoa, look at the mountain! And this is right, so this mountain is so highly contested in the northwest zone of Sandhawk. And I blinked and I missed it. Missed how many teams had swarmed onto it trying to get the high ground. But sometimes the person who had it first keeps it forever. But often it can also go king of the hill, taking it in turns to dominate. Fallen Angels.
Right now, yeah. They're struggling here. They got actually the side of RPG below them. Balor gets sniped down by Smiler, though. One down. Smiler keeping an eye from the high ground. Python, though, trying to run in from the side. Here comes Python versus Smiler. Managed to take down a second. Smiler on the killing spree right now. Immediately wiping Python off the map. Another goes down for RPG. RPG just eliminated off. However, Smiler has been at the cost of chickens on the other side as the actual side of Incognito Blue takes down one of their members. Still, 4 kills going towards the side from that squad of RPG.
As this flare drop comes down into boot camp, that will obviously mean Vape will be sticking around a little bit longer. It's got an AWM and an AUG in it, but do they know? Do SAS know, and are they pinning them?
Here comes on the northern side, though, Pen on the edge of that bridge, sussing it out as Animals Lions have control of Hatton. They're going to have to make this move up closer towards them if they want to make their way into this mountainous range, into the high ground. Actually, it will be SAS actually have moved, as I suspected, in the middle of these two teams. Gods of Greece behind them, though, slowly moving their way in. Still also the side of Team Canito alive as well, making their way into zone finally.
And is anyone from Vape going to even make it to that chest? It looks like Denny's making a move now. But SAS are watching. And SAS may be pushed too far along that hill to really pin this crate properly. They're quite far away, and Denny's going to at least take the AWM. Oh, Denny's actually, yes, swapping the Vector out.
Next level is being spied on by Danny. Danny can't quite find the snipe, though. Next level still alive. Next level goes down almost to Danny, but not going to be enough.
Ooh, it looks like Penetrator pushed into AMZ. And yeah, the fight's going to kick off up here too. They pushed across that bridge. Kira has taken a few shots. So AMZ start off this match, this conflict a little bit ahead, but it can still go either way.
Smiler moving in as well from the south side, keeping an eye on these two teams here. Nicole keeping an eye on the choke point against Penetrate as they move closer. Cons versus Nicole, but Nicole goes down to Cons. Murdoch also finding one.
Hazy almost taken down, but Vish also, they explode each other down to about 5 health each. And this is where you need to switch out. You need to heal while another teammate pushes in on that same member. Hazy very low. Murdoch and Menace could do with pushing in a little bit more aggressively right now while the pressure is hot. It's all about momentum. Hazy does go down as Murdoch takes advantage of Hazy's mistake of pushing forward.
Murdoch with a height advantage here. Mattis also maybe going to go down, but finds Murdoch before he can find that shot down.
There we have it.
Surviving member, but Mattis also down, and there goes the side of Animal Lions. Pen with the cleanup, and that was smart from Penn. They split themselves 2 and 2, two different areas of Hattin, and they wipe the side of Animal Line, choking them out in a sandwich choke point there, using the height advantage to take down one and relying on the rest to take down the final member of AMZ there. They do fall down in 12th place. FA not gonna really fight. They have retreated back down. Actually, they could find Vape moving closer to the center of the map, and as well as Incognito, as well, moving through this water, setting up shop to get maybe a couple free kills.
So it seems like Vape there were well aware that SAS were up on that hill, so instead of taking the bridge route that we originally mentioned, they did actually swim across the water, whilst SAS pushed into the compound. We mentioned southwest of boot camp. Currently, Gods of Greece and Level 1 are fighting it out, and Gods of Greece have lost 2 members now. One at the start of Camp Bravo, and now Level 1 taking one of them out as Argus finishes Bunny off. So now it's just Hamel and Nair. Excellent hedge. Actually, yeah. So would you agree with me that Hamel on Nair gets the the player of the night for those headshots with the AWM? Some of them were just too fast.
Definitely I agree with it. In terms of the sniping with the AWM in that first game, Hamel on Nair, as well as in the first game, 8 kills. The only player with the kills on his team as well. They secure himself that second place. I think Hamel on Nair for sure deserves that player of the night. And still, unfortunately, they have only got 2 members, Bunny and Hamel and Nair, in this final game, but he's going to retreat back. Bunny is already down, unfortunately, and this is where you struggle as 2 members, because you can't make any plays really against these squads. And SAS now going to really camp Hamel and Nair's exit out of here. On the rest of the map here, we actually see Penn taking at high ground as well. Incognito have successfully crossed through, but they've still got to fight through this blue zone, still got to fight through FA as well. A phase 4 blue zone is going to start to do a little bit of trickle damage to these teams. Smiler is knocked up. Diablo about half health, trying to find Alexa there.
Perseus down to ZPX Paradox there, and now it is just Argus left for Gods of Greece right now. ZPX Paradox moving into zone, maybe not checking behind them, so Argus might be able to get a bit of a backstab there, but it also might not be worth it drawing attention to themselves.
I think for Argus right now, they've only got 3 kills on their board. There's still 11 teams alive. He needs to play the patient game. He needs to try not be spotted. He needs to keep an eye on actually the fact that Danny has always sniped the side of Vape from distance, can snipe Argus from a distance, who has been running about in the open here as well. They have a clear shot on him with the scope. Nish here on the outside. Argus perhaps going to go for a couple kills on Nish, who is a little bit separated.
Yeah, Murdoch does go down and get finished off by Incognito Kveshas there. Vish now pushing in for the revenge. Does get Tikita, but what about Kveshas and Vidma? Oh, he also gets Kveshas!
Vish really pulling out 6 kills so far for this squad. They're really ranking up. And this is a team that is starting to scale stronger and stronger as the night has gone on. They feel strong even in the mid-game stages right now. Vidma coming over the hill, but Vish has already got eyes on them.
Getting a little headshot in there, but Vidma does crouch back down. Same with Vish, took a shot or 2, and now they've got to crouch back down the heel. But they do kind of have them pinned at this. Oh, and Menace goes down to guard, though. Wow. Guard with a beautiful 6x on the QBU, taking Menace out. Menace can take some cover, but Vish and Cons might not be able to make it back without wiping out Incognito.
Yeah, we're going to struggle here with Guard taking out Menace so far away from Cons. Penn Davis does take down the side of Elf here. We actually have the other Penn squad fighting on the bridge as they rotate round into this map for safety. Absolute bloodbath here. Waz the only one alive, but they will fall down, and that will be Elf down as Penn just run them down as that 4-man squad across the bridge, making their way into zone in this bloodbath here, as well as SAS now find themselves between Vape and Hamel and Nair.
Wow, yeah, that's popping off between Vape and SAS. Is going to be worth watching. I hope we leave Penn behind in good faith and they don't get wiped out on that rock by the Incognito guys and girls hiding behind those little peaky bits of the rock.
Denny missing the grenade there. Actually takes down Omar with one sliver of health alive.
Wow.
Using the first aid kit in that zone there is going to be vital to take down Omar right now. SES do take down Hamlin though as well. Hamlin out. 8 teams remaining. Level 1 in 9th place. So 5 really high grenade from Denny CQ there as well.
And yeah, Houdini did manage to take out one more member of SAS there. That was Daipuck. And SAS now under a lot of pressure with only 2 members standing. This could bring their points back a little bit, but they've got zone just for now, yeah. They have this huge...
back into the game. Danny almost goes down to Danny, though. Danny with the grenade over the building, a little bit playing sneaky right now, hoping to try to take down Denny. Will the geometry land? It does take Denny down almost. Another grenade going over, but bounces off the roof, and that won't land.
Psycho finishes off the Gods of Greece team there. August, the last one standing. Everyone down in this area right now has an awkward push up this hill. This is one of the most horrible bits to push up in Sanhok, this big steep hill here. Luckily there's not too much pressure from the top though, and the highest point of this hill is a little bit clear for now. Love from ZBX Paradox is down as the play zone starts to eat through Penetrate. Actually, Tarzan's down too.
Yeah, we are on this level 5 play zone right now, and Incognito's 2 teams here, Incognito Blue and Team Incognito fighting. SES also takes one down on Vape, onto Matthew, down to Danny.
Penetrate will be pinned out of zone, it looks like, by the people on the higher ground. Devious having an extremely hard time getting the health up enough to make it to zone, and it does look like Penetrate are going to go down out here to the blue. Meanwhile, no one is inside this final circle. We've got Vape on one edge, SAS Psycho on the south side, and ZPX Paradox on the other. Guard is probably not going to make it either. Just as I click on Guard to go check, Guard goes down. So yeah, Zed Paradox here with 3 standing members, going to make it to the high ground position and probably gatekeep Psycho and Vape out of the runnings. And it looks like this is going to be a ZPX chicken tonight.
So XPX Elites have actually taken out the side of Pen, and also the 2 Incognito teams taking each other out. There's this gatekeeping, as you say, Bigfoot. They've managed to take down entire squads, but not to themselves for the kills. Unfortunately, the play zone still on 2 kills. Vape currently sat on, actually will be sat on 4 kills himself, and SAS on 4 as well. Psycho trying to take down Kata there.
But look at this high ground they've got. And this is what I meant about this hill. When I said they were lucky no one was up here, they missed a trick by coming up here first, because now Zed Paradox have got it. Even though there's only 2 of them remaining and Kata has been lost, this high ground is a very good position to look down upon the rest of them, especially as they fight amongst themselves and give away their location. Psycho does go down, so it's 2v2, high ground versus low ground. Zed Paradox.
Nish comes down though, loses a high ground perhaps, as Nish rotates here down to Demi Q. Very aggressive. This could play out detrimentally for actually the side of Vape if they can get a couple good shots in here. They are being eaten up by the zone from behind, though. They really are fighting on 2 fronts right now. Denny trying to reposition. The zone finally stops for a little bit here.
Houdini very low because the blue does easy to finish off a Love.
You see this bait here from actually Houdini has just baited down the side of XPX. Now Denny has a high ground. Love and Nish getting a couple shots straight into him. Denny healing up at 75% health. Houdini goes down though. Denny, 5 kills for this Vape team. Can they make it 7? And the chicken dinner. Nish trying to find it, but gets 1 shot. Nish now down. Love going a couple shots into him.
High IQ gameplay running for that high ground while the other 2 were distracted, and I really think Zed Paradox should have kept this high ground and not pushed too far down. Nish gets knocked with 1 easy shot from the AAA. Denny's trying to finish it off here. Does get a couple bullets into Love. Love
even the health bar up right now. The painkillers coming out from Denny. Nish could be revived though as well if Love can get back to Nish. The Borden now choking out Love. The tables have turned. Denny with the high ground. trying to find one more snipe onto Love. Will do it. Love now rotating around the same way Denny did. But the fight goes down and actually does look like the side of XPX may have taken his. No, it will be Vape who take first place. Barely, it was so close to call.
Yeah, there was about 4 HP, literally 1 bullet in that. And did look like Denny was going to lose it. Looked like Denny had it, then it looked like Denny was going to lose it, and then Denny got it. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, that was a really smart gameplay there coming out from Denny, sacrificing Houdini as that bait for the side of XPX, who did rotate down to try finish him off. And I think that was a mistake in the late game. They could have just choked the side of Vape down with the zone, used that zone as a second team against the side of Vape, but giving himself that high ground for Denny was their ultimate mistake to losing that game.
Oh, mate, it's been 5 hours. I'm going to log straight off. I'm sorry. I'm going now. I'm done. I'm absolutely exhausted. I need to drink water, eat food, and go see my girlfriend. But thank you so much for being with us again, Highland Wolf.
You're very welcome.
I don't know what's on tomorrow. I don't know if we've been offered anything, but we'll talk about it during the day. It might be a night off. It might be a deserved night off after a 5-hour stream. But yeah, bless you, mate. And have you got anything else to add quickly before we go?
No, I think just a brilliant game once again. Of course, Hamelanea there for the pro and also the start player there as well. Decided to actually pen Devious's squad, unfortunately, there with the bit of the new play it straight into the compound.
Do have a couple clips, but I did fail on the clips again tonight. I'm sorry. Let's just see how many I got. I might just let you see these before we log off, since there's still a few people involved. There's about 8 clips, maybe 9. Yeah, 8 clips. 6. Can't rob the audience of this.
I have noticed during the stream we've gone over 200 followers.
Oh, what?
Hey!
Hey!
There we go.
I've got nothing to celebrate with. I've drank everything. I haven't even got a glass of water to cheers with. Okay.
I've got a car.
I've got a car, mate. I've got an imaginary car, right? Let's have a little run through these last little bits. Since we've still got 20 people involved, may as well let you see what you missed if you did. It's honestly just the most random selection of clips from the night. Didn't get everything. It's a habit I need to form, but also until I get full sound from it, I need to play with the settings so I get the audio from the game and not you. Because right now it's the other way around. Right now when I clip, I get your voice and not the audio from the game. It's weird.
Oh, that's bit rip.
But this is it. Look, everyone's distracted. The entire Incognito team distracted with Lobbyman. There's Keveshas down, Incognito guard down, and they go for the revs, and they did get finished off, but we missed that bit. But yeah, I actually thought that was a really big mistake, and maybe it was a mistake to drive in like that, but the effect of driving in like that really played into the favor as the last 2 remaining members got wiped. And this is when Vape pulled in on said Paradox after they were about to go to zone. Vape were about to go to zone, and they were like, hang on a second, there's a team there, let's go back. Oh no, we're dead.
Yeah, I mean, if you can show me these clips as well, I can break them down as well. I can break down a couple.
I am. It says I'm screen sharing. No, it says I am. Can you not see?
Oh, I'll have to. Aha! It's come up now. There we go.
Okay, good.
Weird.
I'll jump back if you want to see it. I'll jump back if you want to see it. Look, this is Vape pulling away. Then Paradox send a couple shots off, and then Vape get greedy. Watch, they crash this compound. Just get a blip.
Yeah, here we go. And see this car exploded. We see a couple bullets going into it. And Canip actually blows that vehicle up before going down. And here comes actually, it cuts out unfortunately there at the end, but they jump around the building, almost finished off Nish, but Nish managed to take down the final member of Vape in that replay. Hazard now in this later fight on Arangle here, moving around the smokes. And this was when we had about 4 teams. Has he not finding these members here from Fallen Angel? The vehicle there trying to be sneaky, but not going to be enough. Smiler goes down there to Hazzy.
That was really busy at Ruins, wasn't it?
It really was. I mean, that's one of the busiest games I've seen. And actually, even on Miramar, we saw a really busy game for only 14 teams. And even on Sandhawk as well. I mean, to see such a active map and even on Sandhawk as well. I mean, Sandhawk's the easiest, I would say, of these 3 games to be busy on with these teams. We see this kind of messed up play, unfortunately. They usually get wiped out.
Goodbye, Devious. You won your own award.
Yeah, I mean, definitely deserved a star player from Highland though, with those amazing snipes. I mean, definitely someone to look out for in the future as that long range sniper to carry the team. The positioning from Highland was really impressive today as well. Going back to FPX, so
yeah, so when someone's spraying down on you and you switch it and headshot them with a bolty, that is just beautiful. And Hamilton did that twice in a row. 2 kills in the space of about 10 seconds. We're switching on someone spraying them with the A-dub. So yeah, beautiful stuff.
You see Murdoch right advantage there on this. Takes one down on Hazzy. And you see this 2-2 split from the side of Penn. They split off the help and the support from this the flank from the side of the enemy team. And now Penn moving closer towards them, rotating around the gun straight down into building 2 and 2, and just a heads-up play to shoot before even going into the door. And they weren't expecting him to be right there. This next replay here, around the height of this map here. Penn once again making moves forwards. And this is a split on Sandhawk in his final game. Fish managed to get that first kill in. Takes a second with the flank. They just weren't quick enough, unfortunately, to take down Fish in that scenario. And unfortunately, they do lose Incognito Blue there. Fight there on Miramar. Incognito Blue once again. We see versus. Now it will be actually the team. If I can bring it up.
No, this is back to the start. This is the one I was just talking about, where Lobbyman rushes in. It's actually an excellent distraction, and they seem to knock down Lobbyman, get distracted with their revs, and miss the fact that Hamilton, Bunny, etc. are pushing up. And,
yeah, exactly. You have to make sure that you finish off the team before you start getting distracted by those 1-2 members that you've knocked up already. It's much better just to wait for getting all 4 members out of the team to just eliminate them all at once.
Yeah, really good stuff. Cheers for being with us. I'm going to go get off now, and we might see you tomorrow night. I'm not sure if we will. If not, it'll be Tuesday. All right?
Okay, catch you later, man.
Good night, bro.
Good night.